Hello, friends. Today I'm going to show you some examples of interview programming questions and how to work on them. So, what are the topics that we are going to cover? Here, we will do a reverse of a number, reverse of a string using array.reverse, and counting letters. For example, you have one letter to be searched in a string. We have a sentence and you want to search for spaces or a particular character. Then we will be doing that with two formats, one using LINQ, the other one just a normal loop. And counting the number of times character is found inside a string. That's one point. Next, we will count on some spaces in a sentence, like we have a sentence and how many spaces are there. Finding duplicate characters, the number of times a character was duplicated. Adding integers in a number. You will provide me a number, and we are going to add those numbers and give out the output. Okay, so these are the questions that we are going to cover. Let's go ahead and see them. All right, so first one we have is reverse a number. This is a console application, and we use .NET 6 for this one. If you try to create a project, so that will be like new project, and it will ask you for the template, and I selected console application. That was this one, .NET on Windows, Linux, and OS operating system. So selected next, and this is asking for the location and path, name of the program, and here we selected .NET 6 out of this. Once you select .NET 6 and create, it will have a program which will have none of these things. It will just have this the first line, that is a comment, and then one console dot write line uh, thing. Okay, so wait. Uh, wait. It will just have one console dot write line and this thing. Simple thing like this and one console dot write line to print something. So what are you going to do is you will have to add all these things. You will have to add the static void main and then functions that you need, the class, the namespace. These are all the things that you need to add on. So what we are doing here is we have all the methods that's going to work uh, on our question, and we are calling all of these functions inside our static void main args. Okay, so let's go ahead with the first one, that is reverse the number. That's calling this function me, and what we have in me, it asks for a number to be reversed. Once it receives the number, it's going to put that in a variable which is number, and then it will have another variable which is reverse equals to 0, and we will have a while loop which is going to check if the number is greater than 0. So until the number is greater than 0, it will keep on doing its operations. So we have a variable remainder which is saving the remainder of number divided by 10, and the reverse is reverse into 10 plus reminder, and the number is number by 10, and after that it's going to give me the result which is the reverse of that number we provided. Let's see this in action. So let's say I'll put in 852, and it says the reverse of the number is 258. Okay, so that's the first program. Okay, now we will go to the next one, which does reverse a string or reverse a word. So what it's doing is it will ask for the word, it will take the word, and then it will find the length of that word and minus. Then while it says that the length is greater than equals to 0, and then it will start reducing and taking those values into an array, and then doing a minus minus to print the reverse. Once the array is so wait, it has an variable where it's taking the value plus the length, and then it's reducing the length, taking the value again, and then finally it's printing that value. So seeing that in action, This one is gone. Okay, enter a word. Now, if I enter a word, that's, let's say, the reverse of this word is this one. Okay. Now, similarly, we will have another one which is using array dot reverse. Okay, the same thing using array dot reverse. We took up all this string into a variable and then passing them to an character array and then doing an array dot reverse. This is very simple to understand. So if I do this, oh, sorry. Now here, hello world was the string, and it printed that in reverse. So this is the next one. Now we will count the spaces. So this is my sentence with spaces in it, and we are doing a space count. So char dot is white space is the property that we are using to count the number of spaces. Running this again. Here, this is the original sentence, and oops, that's counting A's. Did I miss it? Did I not call the count space? Okay, count space was called letter. I'm sorry. Okay, so the next one was to count letters. I'm sorry. Okay, so the example, the function was called later on. So after that, we used to count the number of A's in a sentence. So instead of A, let's try to make it E, and I can show you that it's trying to count that with E, and this is using link. Stop that. Rebuild again. Okay, so this is counting the number of E's in this sentence, and it says that there are two. Something is wrong. It's actually more than that. Probably, yeah, we didn't. Yeah, okay. So I should have made changes here as well. Restart this one. So here it's counting that there are 7 E's in this sentence. Okay. Now moving on to the next. Letter to be searched. Oh, there is no spaces. Okay, so spaces is here. This is sample string with spaces, and it says that the number of spaces is 6. So the counting letters, we have another format that is using a for each loop. So it will ask me for whatever string I put and what uh, letter I want to search in it. We'll go to that one again. Enter the letter. Let's say I use E. Then it will ask me for the string. Okay, so let's see how many E's are there. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it says that 3 E's are there. Yeah, spaces is already done. Now we will see duplicate characters. Okay, so I already have this sentence predefined, but we will change this one to something else. And let's say, okay, duplicate character. Where is the character? This one is removing the duplicate characters, okay? So yeah, so I had how many duplicate characters? One is S and E. So it just took one of them, okay, and removed the duplicate ones. So N was twice, E was thrice, I was twice, S was twice. It just took one of them, okay. So this is like removing the duplicate characters and taking one of them. Now the next one, sum of integers, okay. So what we are doing is we will take up a number and then we will add those numbers. So how it's doing it is taking that number, then we have another variable sum, and then we are converting that to a string, and then we are using a for each loop, and for each character inside the number we will use a plus, and then we will convert it back to integer. Now it will print that whatever the original number was, and after adding what is the number. Oops, sorry. Now it's asking me to put in the number, let's say 157. That is 718 plus 5, 13. Yes, that's how we got the answer. All right, so that was all about this program. I hope you went through all of these questions, and these are basic questions which are mostly asked in case of interviews, because that takes very short time to uh, program them, and also for the interviewer, it's easy to understand whatever you have written and to find out the answer if it's a correct one. All right, guys, so that was all about this video. Stay tuned, stay connected until we have our next set of videos. Thank you.